All right, Atlantic Sun. Shout out to you for being the first.
Ryan, breaking news.
Oh, wow.
Just spoke to the guys over at Cut. Who will have more picks correct? Sean versus Ryan. That bet is available right now, plus 100 each way.
All right. Well, we've dished what 5, 10, 11 so far, maybe, and then we have 2 more.
How many do we have different? Is really the interesting.
Oh, we have a lot of the same. It comes down to Duke, NC State, NC Central, Morgan. We have a decent amount different, Sean.
I'm surprised the odds are even.
I know. I was generous in setting the odds. We'll see. We'll see if they get lopsided action.
Why are you surprised?
Well, I mean, you're down there at you got soccer matches there in San Diego. Your focus is all over the place.
I'm 6 games ahead of him on the season long, picking every game. So
right, Tommy B in the chat says we're getting Noah a call girl from Michigan. She wears khaki pants.
Jim Harbaugh related?
I mean, the Michigan whores. It's like you get some jeans, a little paint on it.
I did see a part
some
of
overalls.
I was randomly driving in the San Diego area near a beach and saw a Harbaugh lookout. Ooh. I didn't know if he's already laying some groundwork and donating
Ryan,
money.
Friend of the program, Froton, took a selfie with Jim Harbaugh.
Hell yeah,
from the combine. It was
two San Diego legends.
very fun photo for me to come across.
Quick aside, not Atlantic Sun related, but there's nothing more amazing than running into Froton. The energy you get to collect off of that man it's riveting. All right, so Atlantic Sun, first conference to tip in. Colby, there are 32 conferences. We're gonna break down all of them. Thought it'd be fun to go through the odds real quick on the futures and then break down the first round. We only have 2 first round games. They have essentially a play-in round that we'll talk about. First 8 are already in the quote unquote second round. In the first round, aka the play-in round, is the 2 games we'll talk about. But as far as the futures, we have from the bottom to the top, Jacksonville. Someone's going to get very mad about that. 50-1. Queens 42-1. Kennesaw State 23-1. North Alabama and Florida Gulf Coast. Remember Florida Gulf Coast? That was just an electric ride. 20-1. Both of those programs. North Florida 18-1. Austin P. The Governors 9-1. Sean's FCS program. Remember when we all picked an FCS program? You
still got that jersey somewhere.
Once upon a time, I was a SoCon specialist. Stetson coming in at 5-1. Lipscomb, always got to be careful when you say that one in a crowd. 3-1. And Eastern Kentucky plus 145.
And there's no alarming because they that stupid NCAA rule
cannot win.
What? Explain. So they're in their 3rd year, and it's a 3-year warming up period.
Yeah, it's so stupid. So stupid. They're not eligible because of that.
But they didn't finish. It wasn't like they finished first in the conference.
No, not this year. Last year, I think they finished higher, but
they lost a lot of games.
I'm with Rob in the chat. Florida Gulf Coast. He's got it at 25-1. Look around.
Look at this guy.
I feel like
this fucking guy.
I feel like 20-1's a little short, Ryan, because I'm seeing 25.
Can I be honest and tell you I copied and pasted this from FanDuel.
Okay.
Right before the show.
All right. Cause I think there's some places that have 25-1. I like Florida Gulf Coast. I think again,
shop around
with this tournament. It is home courts. So obviously they have their work cut out for them a little bit here. If you look at the bracket, but they're a decent away team and defense travels, especially in the A-Sun. You look at their defensive efficiency, 2nd in the conference. And I think their offense is good enough. And again, I offense, obviously not amazing, not that electric offense they had previously, but 3rd in effective field goal percentage and, decent on the road, especially in conference. I think, I think they're a fun long shot here at 20-1, but I think you can get 25.
So worth noting with the format of the tournament that it is, like Sean said, campus sites. So part of the handicap is that the top seeds in Eastern Kentucky and Stetson are their first round or their second round game, their quarterfinal game will be against a team that just played on Monday. So interesting that Stetson stands out then, because you would expect they would have the path into the next round, already into the semifinal. They're 5-1, almost certainly because of who else they would have to match up against on their side. Lipscomb and North Alabama. Lipscomb, the betting odds on favorite, but they're not playing a team that's coming off a play-in game. And so perhaps there's some value there in looking at Stetson at 5-1, but for me, I'm just going to take the chalk. I'm going to extend my strategy this season into this conference tournament land, which, by the way, in past years has worked. Who won last year in the Atlantic Sun? Kennesaw.
Well, wait, Kennesaw, right? Because I know Bellarmine won it one year, right? And they weren't eligible. I thought they won it one year, but they weren't eligible.
Bellarmine not being eligible for the Atlantic Sun tournament. So I just tried to pull up an old Atlantic Sun bracket. It's been taken offline.
Well,
what are they hiding from us, Colby?
The chat is talking about how the bottom two teams don't make it, Central Arkansas and Bellarmine, but Bellarmine still isn't eligible to win it.
Kennesaw State won last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been 2 years ago where they played for the championship game or something. There was some type of thing of like, if they win, they're not eligible to actually go. So maybe that was 2 years ago. I forget. But anyway, I
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you misled me earlier, but really what you're saying is that they had they made the conference tournament, they would not have been eligible had they won, because like in 2022 they won. Yes. And they were not eligible to go. The loser of the championship game went to March Madness.
Same with Merrimack last year. You saw Fairleigh Dickinson knock off Purdue. Fairleigh Dickinson didn't even win their conference.
I appreciate the take, because it really is like how this is benefiting the college athlete is beyond me. All right. So I'm definitely going to take a piece of Eastern Kentucky.
Okay. Plus 145.
Very chalky. Colby, are there any long shots worth throwing a dart at? I don't. Think so.
I have highlighted a couple here. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're necessarily long shots, but I think the Governors of Austin P are an interesting team. Corey Gibson has done a great job, I think, making this team a lot better. I feel like they've been playing better as the season's gone along. And the other one I think everyone's talking about, Florida Gulf Coast. They had Isaiah Thompson was injured for a little bit. From a talent perspective, I actually think it's the most talented roster in the conference. We'll see if they can get there, but both those are at pretty decent value plays, in my opinion. Those are the two that I would bet.
I'm with Colby. I'm going to take a little sprinkle in Austin P too. You look at their path.
They got to go through through Eastern Kentucky.
Not necessarily, because they reseed after this first. Well, so Kennesaw, like teams like Kennesaw and Jacksonville, Florida Gulf Coast and Queens, they play their games, and then after that round, they would play winner of FGCU, and Queens plays Stenson, and then when they get to the Final Four of the A-Sun, they reseed. So
Queens is another one that's not eligible.
So they're gonna win it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Why do they play if they're not eligible?
We bet that?
It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
It's the ultimate blue balls, right?
We're gonna play in this tournament, but you're not allowed to go.
You can play in the tournament, but when you win, just know that you didn't win. What the fuck's the point of this?
Just to be clear, Colby, one team's getting in the dance from
just
the Atlantic
one team.
Sun, right?
Just one team. Yeah.
All right. So Colby likes Austin P, Florida Gulf Coast. I'm with you. I'm gonna ride both those.
I will also be on Florida Gulf Coast with you guys.
Yeah, come on. Are they still a chiropractor school?
Yeah, I think so. Right, online.
They still haven't started their football program. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing. You're in Florida and you're not doing football. What are you doing?
To me, this is like, how is there not some sort of partnership with IMG? And then you just like, this is just college IMG, right?
Well, this is I actually dug this up while we were talking about it. This is the dean of admissions at Florida Gulf Coast.
I broke my back.
Oh no.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Jim Gray is fucking legend.
Oh man, I just anytime we talk about Baxter, anytime we talk about Baxter's spines, I just immediately think of that.
Like he has a follow up, like it's just nonsensical. Like you're interviewing Mike Tyson, and he's just ready for the moment. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, no. Imagine. I mean, if you're IMG, I mean, who loses? You get to keep your guys in your own academy. All right, let's talk first round. Again, it's kind of a playing round, but it's gotten trendy to just call your playing round the first round. We're talking 4 p.m. on Monday, March 4th. Richmond, Kentucky plays host to Jacksonville and Kennesaw State. Kennesaw laying 3.5 here. This is the 9-10 matchup. Interesting, they do a 9-10 matchup and a 7-8 matchup, not a 7-10 and a 9-8.
And these ones are on neutral court. If you didn't mention that,
I mentioned this was in Richmond, Kentucky.
Okay,
is it not? Wait,
this is these first two are neutral.
Richmond, Kentucky is the home of Eastern Kentucky.
Oh, got it. So because they're playing there the next day.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that handicap for the next round. One of these teams could get hot. Hopefully it's the Florida Gulf Coast game. Kennesaw State laying 3.5 on the neutral in Richmond, Kentucky. Probably not a lot to do here. So, check off the strip club, or maybe there is do we know anything about the strip
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Maybe the chat can chime in if there's a lot of strip clubs in Richmond, Kentucky. I'm generally with these. I would say I know you guys are going to think I'm not being serious, but I think in general in these lower quality tournaments, you want to just a lot of laying of the chalk because the bad teams, like the cliff sometimes happens in these conferences and there's really bad teams at the bottom. So my instincts are to lay the points here, Colby. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to take the points. They've been playing better than Kennesaw down the stretch, but when I first went to ESPN, the game said it was in Kennesaw, Georgia. Then I had to double check. I went to the ASUN website. It is in Richmond, Kentucky that this game is being played, according to the ASUN's website. So
the ASUN website should know where their games are being played. I would
yes,
think.
But the whole tournament is not there because the next game's in Florida. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's home sites the rest of the way after that.
But I'm on Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I know they've lost 2 straight, but they've been better down the stretch. They've won 4 of 6. Where Kennesaw's won 2 of their last 10 games. They just seem like to be falling apart. So I'm going to take a shot on the Dolphins and the points there. Not a bad money line play.
That's a Dolphin. That's a unique.
No, I mean both these teams haven't been playing well, even against kind of subpar competition. I'm taking I don't know Jack, but give me Jacksonville plus 3.5.
Whoa, Sean, just click the conference only Ken Palm toggle, and then look at Jacksonville. So much bright red.
Ooh, that hurts your eyes.
So much bright red.
But
actually, you shouldn't look at this right now.
Number 1 in offensive rebounding percentage, and they're better at the line in Kennesaw State.
Yeah,
better defensive team too.
I mean, and you're proving my point, Kramer. They have the number 1 defense in the conference.
Yeah, they're a tale of two sides of the ball. Will their defense show up? Will their offense show up? I'm laying the points with Kennesaw. I highlighted that earlier in the program. For another one, they're starting at the same time. They're using like World Cup soccer rules here. 4 p.m. Why would they play both the games at the same time?
I mean, they're really torturing these ASUN fans.
What if I only have one screen? What if I don't have God's Eye? Queens in DeLand, Florida. Is this like a Cleveland thing? Florida Gulf Coast laying 3.5. I would imagine. First of all, let's do where is Queens located?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh,
the Queen City.
New York, baby.
The Queen City. So you would think the Florida Gulf Coast team might have some more fans if they do have fans.
Yeah, I think they will have more fans, but also Queens is 1 in 15 outside of Queens. Florida Gulf Coast 9 and 4.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Gulf Coast, the more talented team. Queens maybe the better coach team. Florida Gulf Coast, the more talented team.
Kevin James still their head coach there.
No, he's the king, not the head coach. Yeah.
No, I mean, same reason I like Florida Gulf Coast in this game is the same reason I like them as a long shot to win the ASUN tourney, second in conference defense. Little fun nugget here. I mean, Queens 9th in the conference in offensive rebounding, where Florida Gulf Coast's defense number 1 in preventing offensive rebounding percentage. Also number 1 in the conference at defending the 3-ball. This is what you need come tourney time. I think their game really lends itself to this style of play. So give me Florida Gulf Coast.
I forgot how hilarious it is to break down the first rounds of these tournaments because they're all play-in rounds of just the worst of the worst teams, and most of these conferences let everyone in. It's beautiful. The Edmonds Center will be lit. I mean, free tickets, I assume, Colby, if you're in the area. You can't charge to watch these two teams play on Stetson's campus, right? Like you can't do that.
Matthew Austin pointing out in the chat, FGCU won by 9 a week ago. Kramer, I assume you're on Florida Gulf Coast.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
I have a dog.
And for those
sufficed my contract.
For those wagering on the Sean versus Kramer over at cut.com, use the promo code SGPN. But futures are not included, Ryan. It's just going to be the head-to-head for this games for this episode.
Bet.